going back to the appointment that Monday with the oncologist, he said that his job will be to determine what the course of action is going to be after I have surgery. So what they're going to do, in my case, before I tell you that, let me jump back. So the day that I went to see the breast surgeon, she wanted me to get an MRI with contrast because they wanted to take a look and see if there's any other possibility of tumors in either breast. So they did an MRI of both breasts and the lymph nodes under my arms. And since my mother had passed away from breast cancer, they had me do a genetic test to see if I have a genetic mutation that would cause cancer. So today's Wednesday. I went to see my breast surgeon Monday, so day before yesterday. And the MRI came back negative, so there's nothing else. There's just the one tumor. Nothing in my lymph nodes, nothing in my other breast, nothing like that. The genetic test also came back negative. And you guys, I cannot even express to you how much of a relief that was. When the lady told me it was negative, I stood up in the exam room and walked to the corner of the room. I bent over and started crying and praising God and raising my hands in gratitude to the Father. And the lady came over and she was like, "Oh, Janine," and she put her hand on my back, and I'm like, "You got to give me a minute. I know this is a doctor's appointment, but I have to give praise. I have to give praise to my Heavenly Father." So did that for a few. She gave me my minute to do that. I sat back down, and then we got back to business. So the thing is, had the MRI and or the genetic testing come back positive, I would have needed to really then think, are we going to do a mastectomy? Are we going to do a double mastectomy? What are we going to do? Since these came back negative, my surgery is just going to be a lumpectomy. So basically, they're just going to go in, take the lump out, whatever. No, so now let me jump. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm kind of all over the place. So now let me jump back to where I was with the oncologist, which I went to see that following Monday. So he says after the surgery, a couple of weeks after the surgery, he'll be able to determine my course of action, because when they take out the tumor and they take out the lymph nodes, they're going to do some additional testing that it will take a couple weeks to get the results back. And this test will determine on, like, if some of the cancer cells have broken off or anything like that. My gut is telling me that nothing has broken off, but that test will determine on if I have to have chemo. So at this point, I don't know if I'm going to have chemo, but I definitely am going to have radiation. So after the surgery, I'll start radiation treatments. I don't remember how many I have to have. I might have it written down, but I definitely will have radiation. Yeah.